So you know when you play Football Manager and nothing works tactically, you just cannot get a result out of the team. And then you make a couple of tweaks, change the system, and all of a sudden things start working for you and the panic and pressure is off. Well, I think we've got there in Vamos to the Top. Hello and welcome back to Vamos to the Top. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's episode. As I say, we are approaching the end point of the season. These seasons in Peru do not last long at all, given that we only play each team once at the start and at the end of the season. Well, technically some teams twice, but we don't play everyone twice. There's not many games. So we're going to try and play quite a few games today, I think, starting off with Cusco, who are having a very good season, but we are in a bit of decent form. Now, you were last here for a 2-1 loss. That really should not have been a 2-1 loss. But then a wonderful 2-1 win over Binacional, who of course were a team that absolutely battered us on the opening day of the season, so it was great to get revenge against them. We couldn't get in between episodes off to a winning start, despite goal of the season from Ampuero. It's a superb goal this, but we did end up losing 3-1. Annoyingly, we were the much better team as well. Look at the match stats. Like, we should have won this game comfortably, but we just didn't. But we managed to win the next 3 games in a row, which was fantastic. Vigil got a rare goal in this game after the ball bounced around the area quite a bit. It ended up counting towards him. He then scored the winner in a dramatic 4-3 win away from home against Municipal, scoring this one in the 87th minute. He loves a good close-range header, doesn't he? And then last time out, we got our first clean sheet of the season in a competitive game, with Veron scoring a brace in this game, including this lovely one to wrap the game up. I still can't quite believe that's our first actual clean sheet of the league season. In fact, any competitive game, friendlies don't count obviously, but even the cup we have conceded, that's literally the first clean sheet we kept all season. So things are looking pretty good for us, and in the overall table after 14 games played this season, we sit on 16 points, which isn't many, but it is 5 clear of Melgar in the relegation playoff place and 6 clear of Alianza Atletico in the relegation place. So I'm feeling pretty happy right now. I feel comfortable, and hopefully with this form that we're in right now, we can go on to take teams like Cusco and Sports Boys who are below us and get results. And so I think it's time we dive straight into this game against Cusco, who are currently top of the new league table, or the second half of the league table. They're doing quite well, basically. But we're not really changing the lineup too much, because this lineup seems to be working quite nicely. Solis in goal with Rodriguez, Delgado, Gonzalez and Cordova in the back line. Ampuero, Tuesta, Moyano and Sandoval in the midfield 4, with Oliver and Veron starting up front today. Gonzalez Vigil has been playing well in recent weeks, has got goals, but on paper and in training, I am starting to see better ratings from Oliver in training, but on paper, actually looks like a better striker than Vigil is right now. So we're going to give him a bit of a run up front and see what he can do. The downside to Oliver, obviously, though, is that he is only on loan, and that's something we need to remember when thinking about squad and team rotation. So as kickoff is upon us here today, I just want to say thank you to all of you for all your support so far this week on the new series. It's much appreciated, and you guys have smashed the likes target absolutely every day. As a reward, I think we're going to do a bonus episode this weekend. Normally Monday to Friday is Let's Play, and Saturday and Sunday are kind of like experiments, guides and other stuff, as that could have been an amazing goal from Oliver. But given you guys are loving this so much and you've smashed all the likes targets, we're going to do a bonus episode this weekend. So thank you very much, and if you want to carry on supporting the channel and the series, make sure you do drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm, as Cusco are looking to come forward, but we have stopped them in their tracks, which is quite nice, as Cordova and Gonzalez just hold on to possession at the back. We're just trying to recycle it, make sure we build out nicely from the back and get a good chance to score. As Ampuero's picked up a knock, we need to keep tabs on him then potentially, because that could be quite difficult if he is forced to come off the pitch, and we don't want to lose him. He's been very good for us this season. In the meantime, Cusco have won the ball, and they have put that wide of the post. Somehow the striker was not offside. He's been allowed to run through the defence there. Poor defensive work from us, but luckily they didn't score. But so far, 34 minutes into this, we have cleared the corner, and Cusco haven't really looked like scoring, other than the chance they did have with their man who is absolutely clean through. We, though, also haven't looked like scoring. We've not really seen much from either team, and it's reflected in the 4-3 shots. So at the half-time break, Ampuero is looking quite tired. I think we are going to have to take him off, in this second half, just to protect him. Now, We don't really have a left midfielder on the bench. Now, I'm going to say, can Espinosa play there? No, not really. He's more of a right-hand sided midfielder, isn't he? Can anyone actually play there? And Puero, no. So we'll swap him with Veron. We'll have to put Veron a little bit further forward, swap Oliver and Puero over, and then bring Vigil on up top. Let's do that. Make the change. Go slightly more attacking, which actually isn't a bad thing in a 0-0 stalemate like this. It might just make the difference for us. And we are coming forward right at the start of this second half as Moyano puts that just over the bar. If that had gone in, goal of the season. But Oliver with a free kick. Oh, hits the post / crossbar / something. Oliver getting very unlucky here today, but the counter-attack is... Wow. I mean, Aloha gets into some great positions for Cusco, but how he's not scored today, I do not know. We're getting very lucky as Gonzalez Vigil is there, the man who loves getting a high ball and winning it in the 6-yard area, this time with his feet putting it in the back of a net. But we saw him do it twice from the in-between episode highlights. We've seen him do it again right now. Vigil is the man who puts us in front. So the cagey first half is turning into quite an open, free-flowing second half. But we do have some tired faces, though, which is maybe stopping quite a lot of tired faces, actually. Tuesta is probably one of the more tired faces out there, as is Sandoval. So we'll bring Espinosa on the right-hand side for him. I've also just spotted, by the way, everyone, that since the league is not reset, but the second half of the league has started, and we've got this sort of second league table, we're top of it. If the results stay as they are right now, we're top of this second league thing. And that is not expected at all. I mean, it's welcome and I love it, but it's not expected, particularly when you compare it to our start of the season, as that was a very nervy moment at the back there. 10 minutes to go in this game. Cusco need a goal to get themselves back on top of the pile, and they've got it. Okay, well, I shouldn't have spoken about being top of the table, should I? To be fair, everyone in our team is pretty knackered right now. You can see the health and fitness of all these players who haven't been substituted is absolutely at rock bottom. So they are running on fumes right now, which is a bit of an issue, but they've got to hold on. They've got to hold on for at least a point here today. It would be lovely if we could come away with something against a very informed Cusco team, but I don't think we're going to. Unless the VAR says they were offside, but I don't think they were offside, if I'm honest with you. I think it counts. And it does count. Well, I am never talking about being top of the table again. And our next game against Sports Boys is in 4 days' time. So what we need to do is training, rest everyone for at least 2 days, get them back into some sort of good shape. And Puero is out for 2 to 4 days, so might not actually play the Sports Boys game. But as for the league table, which I'm really not entirely sure which one we need to be properly looking at, and maybe we won't know until next season. We've gone through a whole season ourselves, right? But in the second half of the season table, we are currently 5th, which is not bad going, to be fair. If we look at the first half of the table season, we came bottom. And combine those together, we are currently 13th. I think this is the one we have to be looking at, though. I'm pretty sure. And so the Cusco team we just lost to are right up there in both divisions, clearly, because they're right up in this overall table and in the new one as well. So they are a very good team. Sports Boys have leapfrogged us as well a little bit here. They've gone up to 16 points, which I swear they were behind us. So they must have picked up a big win as well in their previous game. And then we've got Manucci after that as well. That's going to be a really tough game for us too. So yeah, Ampuero's not fit enough to play this game at all. Who is capable of playing there? I mean, Veron apparently can play there. We'll have to put him there for now, which means that Vigil will start up top with Oliver. We might leave Ampura on the bench, actually, just for the case of, we might want him to play a game and stuff like that. But the rest of the team is looking pretty good to me. So, back at our home gaff today, we're taking on Sport Boys, one of the best names in all of football, I reckon. Hopefully, we actually get the result we deserve here today. Although, when I say that, I'm implying that we deserve the win. Like, if we deserve the loss, then we deserve the loss, I suppose. So, 30 minutes on the clock. We've not really seen anything from either of these two teams just yet. Very similar to the previous game, very cagey in the first half, but Sport Boys are through and they've worked that one quite nicely. Just as I say, it's been a cagey game, not much going on. Of course, Sport Boys go on to score. Right, this was not part of the script. The game is very even in terms of match stats, but Sport Boys probably do have a deserved lead right now. Alvarez, the keeper, clears it, but it's won in the air by Delgado, but then won second ball by Sport Boys as they hold on to possession and bring it over the top. That's a really great ball over the top, and they're in the area, and if this goes in the back of a net, I'll be very cross. Wasn't far off the crossbar, and they are firing some warnings at us right now. We need to have a bit of a go at this team at half-time, I reckon. Thrash the arms, terrible so far. Please sort it out. We have a chance, though, through Cordova as he puts the ball into the middle. It has been clear, but only as far as Moyano, who loves a long-distance shot. Doesn't take it this time, though. The ball is worked back out wide to Cordova, who gets it into Gonzalez Vigil. Back to Cordova. Can we just get that final killer ball into the middle? We can. The ball through to Veron is good, but the referee has spotted something. What's he spotted here? He's not offside. He's 100% not offside. Okay, maybe he was offside. Maybe he was offside a little bit. At least it is a positive start. We have put the ball in the back of the net. We know we can do it, so let's do it again. But preferably without Sport Boys score. Well, all of a sudden, things are not looking very good for us, are they? Time to change things up a little bit. Can we swap those two over? And no, because Sandoval does not like to play on the left-hand side. Right. Gamara, you can, but you've got a right foot. Essentially, what I want to do... I mean, Veron can play on the right. Inside forward attack. That's what I want to do. Sandoval just can't play there. But he's not played brilliantly today. So let's bring... Can Espinoza play there as an inside forward? Like, what foot has Espinoza got? He's got a right foot. Perfect. Okay, so Espinoza, you come as an... We'll make you an inverted winger instead, just to complement things a little bit. And then Rodriguez becomes a wing-back on attack. Cordova becomes a wing-back on attack. We're already on attacking mentality. We're already focusing down the wings a little bit. We've got to try it. We've got to try it. You know, there's no point sitting back and doing what we're normally doing. We have to really go for this one now. I'm going to shout demand more out there. And hopefully we're going to get some sort of response out of the players. But there are quite a few poor average ratings. But I believe in them. They're going to do it in this final 10 minutes. I know they will. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they won't. Okay, that's a really poor result for us, that one. I'm not very happy with it at all. Sport Boys were a team that we had to beat. And we've not done it. And I've got to give them a day's worth of rest, but we have a game in 2 days' time. Like, suddenly out of nowhere. Like, what I don't understand about this, right, is... Like, we have no games for a month for a cup competition, basically. We have to play all of these friendlies around here. And then suddenly, it's like fixture congestion here. Why is this not spread out more? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in August. I mean, nearly 8 if you count the 31st of July, which is basically August anyway. I feel like I'm Jurgen Klopp. I'm getting really angry about this. Anyway, Manucci coming up next. Although I feel like that's quite an Italian way of saying things. Maybe it's pronounced differently in Spanish. But these guys are literally bottom of the table. They're rubbish. If we don't win this game, things are going to be very, very difficult. How fit's the team? Fit enough. Fit enough. I don't trust other players, really. So, yeah, that'll be that. No, I do, actually. I do trust other players. Moyano will swap with Tuesta, and then we'll get Casasola on the pitch as the Carrilero, just to freshen the midfield slightly. Veron can come off for Ampuero, because he's actually fairly tired. We'll leave Gonzalez and Oliver playing up top. So to give you an idea of how bad this team are, they've played, this is their 9th game of the season. They've got 2 points so far, including 1 from this game as it stands right now. They've literally had a worse second part of the season than our first part of the season, and that is impressive. That just shows how bad these guys are. So if we're not winning this 3-0, if we're not winning this 3-0, there's going to be some serious questions asked. In fact, I tell you what, if we don't win, I'll resign. I'll resign if we don't win this game. That's how much I believe in this team and their ability to get a win here today. As Casasola, thankfully, gets a challenge in there, as I thought they were literally about to make me eat my words. As well, they still might. Ooh. Okay, well, 30 minutes gone, and I don't think we've really seen anything from us right now. So we need to sort this one out a little bit as we shout encourage to the team out there. Our free kick is cleared, and Riviera's got to get past 3 players. And so far is doing a pretty reasonable job of doing it. Will he get his cross into the middle? He kind of does, to be fair. Great play from Riviera, as we do manage to clear the cross. Right, here comes the counter-attack then, as Gonzalez on the ball into Cordova. Cordova through to Gonzalez Vigil, into Oliver, and Oliver now breaking forward. Great pass into Gonzalez Vigil, whose shot from distance is pretty decent, to be fair. Oh, I thought it was a save. It just went wide. But half-time, 0-0, and I am 45 minutes away from resigning, apparently. I mean, we have been the better team here. 60% possession, 9 shots, 6 on target. Like, we have done pretty well in this game. I think we've just been a bit unlucky with the quality of chances we're getting, maybe. But I fully believe in us in this final 30 minutes of the game. We do like to score some late goals, and hopefully we're going to score a couple of them here today, as Oliver gets the ball to Sandoval, who we've not seen much of today. And maybe that's why we've not seen much of him today. Because if all of his shots have been like that, they've not been very good, have they, at all? Putting that one wide of the mark. But it was a highlight straight from the goal kick as Riviera is... oh, my goodness. I mean, it's nice that we're stopping them from shooting up close. We're making them shoot from distance. But my goodness, they're getting close. 2 off the crossbar now. They are knocking on the door. More than us. You know, they've probably the better chances that we've seen on highlights, so we need to do something about this. Hopefully get a nice challenge in here, or just let them run through on the left hand side of the attack. They get a ball out wide into the penalty area. Riviera, Inga, crossbar again. Whew. This does not feel like a team that have only had 1 draw and lost the other games. Like this feels like a very good team somehow. As Ampuero is going to come off the pitch for Veron, who's going to be a winger? Not a winger. An inverted winger on attack. Let's do that, shall we? Vigil's not playing great, but we can't really do much about that right now. We've got no other strikers to play. Tuesta will bring him on instead of Moyano. And then Cordova playing quite poorly, so Abesso on you come as well. 3 changes all at the same time. Let's do something clever with this now, please, Sandoval, or get tackled. Nah, I'm not having this. I'm not having a goalless draw here against a team that have picked up 1 point in their last 8 games. I'm not having this. I'm not being that team. But I mean, we could be the team that loses because Rodriguez on the ball. I mean, I can see why this team have only picked up 1 point. They just can't shoot. Either that or they love the crossbar challenge, one of the two. But with 10 minutes to go, this is getting panicky for me right now. As Gonzalez Vigil does win the ball after Sandoval loses it. Gonzalez to Abesso. Abesso bringing it down the right-hand side. Finds the ball to Sandoval, who gets the ball into the middle. And Oliver Veron somehow puts it in the back of the net. Somehow that's gone in. I don't know how. I won't question it. But that should not have gone in. Really bad mix-up here at the back. As I mean, Oliver messes up in the first instance, and I think it sort of comes to Veron. He's surprised by it, but it somehow gets a kick away to just about get it past the keeper in at the near post. And it looks like we are going to come away with a win here. Well, okay, Tom, let's not talk too soon. We've done that a few times in the past, haven't we? Including in this series. Including in this episode, actually. So let's... Just see the game out, please. See the game out. Drop to positive. Shout, encourage. Oh, God, encourage has ruined everyone's morale, though. Look at the facial reactions here. They're all red. Luckily, we do come away 1-0 winners. No resigning today for me. And now 3 days off for the next game. Why are these games coming so thick and fast? Okay, so Sport Huancayo, which is a pretty cool name. They're coming up next. What we'll do is we will get back into this team, Tuesta. We'll get back into this team... Who? Veron? I think Vigil deserves his chance, actually. You know, he's played pretty well in the previous games, I feel. We'll give him another chance, shall we? As for the rest of the team, Abesso over Cordova. I feel like Cordova's not played brilliantly. If we look at his form, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", but had been pretty good before that. But he's dropped out of form. Let's get Cordova out of the team and give it a go. They're only 1 point behind us in the table, so obviously a very well-matched game, this. But hopefully, We're going to get the better of it and take home the 3 points here today. We need it. 2 losses, 1... Oh, there you go. We're going to get these 3 points today. Sandoval with the goal there. As I was about to say, 2 losses, 1 win in this episode so far. I'd like to make it at least 50-50. But as Sandoval comes down the right-hand side of the pitch now, can we double our tally as Gonzalez Vigil gets it into Tuesta? He's stopped at the last second by a great challenge there. Otherwise, that would have been a certain goal, I reckon. Much better from us in the first 15 minutes of this game. Much better. They seem to be reacting really, really well to not playing brilliantly last time out. Maybe having Tuesta back in the team in the midfield is helping us out quite nicely. Veron back in the team, maybe that's helping us out quite nicely as Obeso shot saved by the keeper. Trying to do a Sandoval there. But Juan Cayo are equalising. Okay. I mean, I did start talking way before this highlight actually started, but I said Juan Cayo wrong about 3 times, and I thought I can't do that to myself, and then by the time I got it right, they'd scored. So, you hate to see it. But despite their goal from their only shot on target, we have been the more dominant of the teams here today. We do deserve this, I feel. And hopefully with Delgado right now, as he finds the ball out to Rodriguez, we're going to build down this left-hand side of the pitch and we're going to score a magnificent goal of some great magnitude or something along those lines. As Gonzalez on the ball into Moyano, actually working it through the middle instead. Veron could be offside, but chips the keeper beautifully. Is this going to VAR or was it timed to absolute perfection? It looks like timed to absolute perfection. Veron there with a superb goal. You love to see it, and it was timed to perfection. You can see it on the replay there. Beautiful stuff, beautiful goal. And I think thoroughly deservedly in the lead in this game. We are absolutely dominating Juan Cayo in today's game. And it temporarily puts us third in the table as well. Like, I don't understand. I feel like other teams are bottling things massively in this second half of the season too, because I don't think we've been that good. Well, I mean, 6 wins from 10, like that's nothing too special, but it's putting us right up there. So I guess this is just a league where everyone is pretty close to each other and no one's really that dominant. But that suits us quite nicely, because it should mean with just a couple of improvements next season, like we could be well up there in a sort of a mid-table battle for the whole season, particularly if we have a much better start to the season. 2 shots on target for Juan Cayo today, and they've had 2 goals, which is very frustrating. You hate to see it. Will they get a third from their... wasn't a shot on target, so it's all right. But Solis has not really covered himself in glory today. 30 minutes to go. We'll make some changes in a moment's time, I reckon. But we've got to do something here, haven't we? We've got to get something out of this game. Ideally 3 points, and we're just not that clinical going forward. Some of our passes are just a little bit wayward, aren't they? As we just can't seem to get that ball, that killer ball, into the attacking third often enough. In the meantime, Juan Cayo coming forward with Ross on the ball right now, which sounds like a very strong Peruvian name, as he's on the ball right... What? No, referee, you cannot be giving it... I don't know what he's even done wrong. What has Rodriguez done wrong there to give a penalty away? It was outside the area anyway. Yeah, thank you very much, referee. Okay, should have made changes a little earlier than we did, but we didn't, so deal with it, everyone. We're going to bring, instead of Ampuero, we'll bring Veron on the left-hand side, make him that inverted winger on attack. Let's do that. Let's get Ampuero off for Oliver. Let's get... Rodriguez off for Milensi, and that might just be that as we close up this game. So with 15 to go, we have got possession right now with our backline on yellow cards, which is a little bit concerning in the final 15 minutes of a tightly fought game. Melesi on the ball, and the substitute gets it into Tuesta, into Veron, into Oliver. Oliver, the substitute, gets it back to Veron, who gets it back to Oliver, and Oliver... You love to see it, comes off the bench and gets us the goal that might be getting us the 3 points here today. Okay, but we have to stay strong now. We have to stay strong for the final 10 minutes of this game, 5 minutes of this game, 3 minutes of this game, minutes of this game. Just stay strong, please, boys. And they have done. You love to see it. We come away 3-2 winners here, and that's a huge result. And we've really turned this episode around from 2 losses to 2 wins. But Gonzalez and Delgado, both our centre-backs, are going to miss the next game, which probably means we are probably going to lose it. But there really is not long left to go this season. I think we come back for the final 3 games of the season next time out. But I doubt there's much well, there could be something to play for. Why is that green? What does that mean? The winner gets a championship playoff place. Okay. But they have to finish 9th in the overall... Okay. At the start of a season, there's 2 groups. The winners of those 2 groups play each other in a final, and the winner qualifies for the Champions Playoff. In the second part of the season, the winner of the overall second part of the season table gets a Champions Playoff place, but only if they finish in the top 9 of the overall table. As for the overall table, first and second qualify for the Champions Playoff. Third and fourth, will that depend on who's won the other playoff places? Maybe. But okay, suddenly we actually could be playing for a playoff place at some point because we're only 5 points off the top. Yes, they have a game in hand on us and it's going to look quite unlikely, but there's an outside chance here of us doing quite well this season all of a sudden. So I hope you're as excited as I am as we approach the end of the season. I quite like this because there's always something to play for. Unless, of course, you came bottom of the first phase of the season and bottom of second phase of the season, and there's really nothing to play for, is there? Either way, thank you very much for watching today's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.